I'm going to make this as difficult for you as possible.
Okay.
What is the best subclass and class in 2024 D&D for you?
The best subclass and class in 2024 D&D is the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer. Objectively.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
you need to unpack that for me
It
right
is-
now. Because I really like Wild Magic Sorcery and I really like Aberrant Mind, but why the Clockwork?
Because the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer gives you the entire package that sorcerers bring,
Okay.
and it also has Wall of Force.
Wall of Force is nasty.
And Wall of Force is the best spell in the game.
Right.
Probably the best spell in the game.
With a lot of the most imaginative utility as well.
Yes. And so the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer, because of the expanded spell list that it gives you now in 2024,
Yeah.
you can choose what I would consider to be the objectively strongest toolbox of spells,
Yeah.
then having the layered power of meta magic over that,
Yeah.
on top of also being a charisma-based spellcaster that has innate proficiency in Constitution saving throws. So you are tough, you have all of the best spells, you can bend the way those spells work completely, and you also get a little bit of that dice manipulation as well. That's just a taste of what normally the diviner wizard would give you. The issue and the reason why the wizard has fallen off its pedestal in 2024 is because the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer, now that sorcerers know all of their spells on their expanded spell list, a sorcerer actually has more spells prepared
Yeah.
than a wizard does. And so the wizard's flexibility of being able to choose their spells at a whim has kind of been lessened. And so the maximal power of being able to apply meta magic to a larger spell list in brass tacks play still works out really well. A wizard is probably still going to pull ahead at very high levels in what I would call a Batman-style campaign,
Yeah.
where the Dungeon Master is giving the player characters a lot of leeway to prepare, choose their types of engagement, and really shape how they're going to approach situations and allow players to gather a lot of information. I don't see a lot of Dungeon Masters, especially in the actual play space, doing that. And so I think that the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer probably takes the cake on if you want to bring all the, like, if you want to feel like you were firing on all cylinders simultaneously as a player, it's probably the strongest class in the game.
Now, before I see any comments about the Wild Magic Sorcerer not having prepared spells, they have the Wild Magic Surge table, of which there are a number of spells that will get randomly cast, and also without having to spend another action to do so. And at some point, as a Wild Magic Sorcerer, you can get a whole extra action and cast multiple spells in one turn. But I just wanted to clarify, you're still getting plenty of spells as a Wild Magic Sorcerer, even though you don't have prepared spells. You're popping off even potentially more magic than normal.
So an old master of mine, who taught me everything I know about technical theater, and who was this amazing, multi-talented man that had skills as a carpenter, a rigger, like he could do everything.
Yeah.
Used to say, "Would you rather be lucky or good?"
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
And that is the choice between the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer and the Wild Magic Sorcerer. How much do you value luck, and how much do you value skill? And I would say that the more skilled of a player you are, the more... This is the interesting thing about D&D and role-playing games in general. The more skilled you are, the less you want to roll dice, and the more you want to be able to choose things that rely less and less on luck.
I want to unpack that, because you say the more skilled. I consider myself very skilled at the game. I've Dungeon Master games that have lasted years and years, and I've Dungeon Master for up to 14 people at once.
Yeah.
It might have been 16, and I needed assistant Dungeon Masters to help me at the time. It was intense, but we all here play professionally.
Yeah.
I do like the chaos. I do. Something about me being a Dungeon Master has led me more towards the chaotic route the more I go, and I don't enjoy things like the divine divination wizard, because I
Yeah.
can choose people's dice rolls for them or the enemies, and something about that takes the fun of the chaos. Like I need that chaos, maybe because I structure my own life, and we kind of have to.
Okay, I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna try to find a PG way of giving this metaphor.
So are you looking for like the optimized build?
As a player,
Yeah.
I kind of think of that meme of like, no, I'm the dungeon master. Because the thing is I actually profoundly find being a player a frustrating experience.
I think you'll like the Dread domain in Daggerheart a lot. Because you can suck fear away from the Dungeon Master or gain benefits as they gain fear.
And so I very much as a player, I like to drive. Like it is kind of thing where like as a dungeon master you are in control. Like unequivocally you have that granted to you. But the players are giving you a lot of that power, and then it's on you as a DM to use that responsibly. And I like to really magnify that, where as a player, I like having more opportunities to like really dramatically shift the scene and really take things in a different direction. And it's kind of that whole thing of like, because for me as a dungeon master, I love it when my players surprise me. I love it when they go off the rails. I love it when they bring the chaos to the situation. But I love it when that originates from their ideas, and I love it when that originates from them thinking things through in a creative way and bringing those things to the table. And so for me as a player as well, I like being able to look at a situation, analyze that problem, and be like, this is how I would approach this, right? I always like to give the example of when Kelly was first starting to run a game, he had designed this haunted house. And the whole thing was hinging on us walking in the front door of this haunted house and the door slamming shut behind us. And I said, I go back to town and I get a ladder and I smash all the windows in the house. And like, I'm the type of player that I want to take the doors off the hinges. I want to knock down the walls. I want to break into the place, and like, it is one of those things where like in my natural environment as a player, I cannot be railroaded. I refuse. And so because I love breaking things, but at the same time, like the rules still matter to me. Like it's this weird contrast where it's like I want to break things, but I still want to know that the rules are also there at the same time, because when you can depend on the way the rules work, it gives you this grounding in reality. Because I think of a lot of things when I approach problems as a player and things like that, I still try to think things through logically and with a lot of reason and rationality. And so that's why for me, I'm generally drawn to the less chaotic and the more controlled, because there's already so much chaos that I like to be able to know, okay, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. These are the ways that we can engage with this problem. And then what is the way that we just completely blow the doors off this entire situation? And so for me as a player, like, I am someone, it's a very weird thing narratively speaking, because like as a player, and I will also say this as a dungeon master, I love it when the players come up with a solution and the creativity and everyone is there, and if they win a flawless victory, like they just completely destroy the final boss.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because they like min-maxed to the absolute max and just did 1,000,000 damage in one round, but because like they had orchestrated a whole wild scenario of like a trap plus their character abilities plus a lot of teamwork. Sometimes I think that can, like, some DMs might react to that and be like, but that's anticlimactic. That's not what I prepared. That's not how I envisioned this going. But the players loved it.
Yeah.
Right? And I think for me that's one of the really cool things about D&D and role-playing games so much, is that I think that in our real lives, especially these days, I think a lot of us feel very powerless.
Yeah.
I think that we feel very powerless to change the world. I feel like a lot of us feel very overwhelmed by, even everyday problems of how do I answer all the emails in my inbox?
Yeah.
And with a role-playing game, we have this ability to be like these competent heroes that get a good 8 hours of sleep every night and wake up feeling fully rested for the next day.
Having a long rest alone.
And getting to travel the world
Yeah.
and all of these things. And so I really delight in creating those opportunities for players as a DM, and in the very rare instances when I get to play, like. For me, I would call it order out of chaos or chaos out of order, right? Like, it's kind of that Rube Goldberg machine of craziness.
If you want to support more video content like this, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave comments about what you are excited for Daggerheart and Drakkenheim, and also if you want to support other video content like this, go to our Patreon. That allows us to fly around the country and do interviews. And I'm working on player-focused materials as well. Thank you so much for watching.